Hey guys, Nolan here. Today we're returning to our bullying series and we're talking about the bad sport. But before we do that, why not hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified the moment I upload new content, huh? And today our little mini game is, in the comments, your favorite musical artist. Go! The bad sport is the embodiment of delusion. They are the person who gets upset when somebody does better than them, and of course has to put that person down to make themselves feel better. You know, going through these bully types really showcases what dicks our horse industry is full of. Which, if you haven't seen our other videos about all the other bully types, we have a playlist right there and I'll link it down in the description. Definitely give it a check out. Alright, let's get right into this. Who are the bad sports? The bad sports are the ones that tell you that your success was pure luck. That you won that class because the judge clearly doesn't know what she's talking about. That if you were competing against real riders, you'd come dead last. The bad sport can be anybody. It's actually kinda sad. They can be young, they can be old, they can be young that look old, or they can be old who like them young. And their victims are usually their age group. Though I have seen older go after the younger, very rarely have I seen the younger go after the older. Regardless, they are who they are. Not only do they come across as cocky, these poor sports show little knowledge about respect or manners. Which leaves us wondering, why did you feel the need to say that? Something I knew took their horse into a hunter class. And the horse, not your typical hunter. She had to ride her butt off. She already had the thought in her mind that winning was out of the question. She really didn't have much confidence in herself. But she enjoyed the sport and wanted to participate. Secret, she ended up winning the class. Of course she was over the moon. Until the poor sport, who was a coach no less. Hell, he wasn't even participating, nor were his students. He had to come over and tell her, not good job. Not you guys did great. Hell, he didn't even say hi. Nope. No. Instead he says,
if my students could have shown today, don't think you would have won that class.
Who says something like that? Who goes out of their way to hurt somebody? I'll tell you. The poor sport. Dicks. Okay, great, Nolan. But how did they get this way? The ones I have met come from a demanding position. They are either coaches or trainers, and their clients are pretty much questioning them why their horse didn't win and that horse did. So the coach has to overcompensate and comfort the client, reassuring them that their training is correct and that they will win when a knowledgeable judge is judging. But let's go back to my friend's example. That coach didn't have any students showing. He just spewed his opinion just cuz. This is where other emotions like jealousy and delusion come into play. That this coach has been telling his students and his students' parents that to be competitive, they need to be taking at least 3 lessons a week with him. That they need to have his special rider school the horse 3 days a week as well. That they have to buy the big, fancy, expensive horse. That they have to pay for all the bells and whistles. Everything that makes him money in his business. And here comes in my friend, who rides her own little horse, which is not made for the discipline by any stretch of the imagination, doesn't take part in this coach's regime, yet still comes out on top. Of course he needs to undermine her performance to save face. Not only is this going to comfort the client, it's going to unsettle my friend who already has low confidence. I mean, we could really take it a step further and say that he was trying to squash the competition for future shows. Hell, I've even heard of pros coming over to shows and telling other pros all the reasons why they didn't buy the horse that said pro is being successful with.
Oh, your piaffe massage transitions were amazing considering her legs. You know, they're the reason we didn't buy her.
They can become a poor sport just to validate their own choices. We need to make sure everybody knows that we could have bought that horse if we wanted to. We could have trained her to Grand Prix too, you know. But there's a reason why we didn't, and we were smart to make that decision. Hey, I get it, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But you don't need to jam it down our throats when nobody asked for your opinion to begin with. But that's the poor sport. Jealous that you've done something that they were supposed to be able to do. So how do we deal with these poor sports? Honestly, I tend to tell them to piss off, but I get it, maybe there's a nicer way to do things. So I guess let's give it a go. If you encounter a poor sport at a show, offer to go with them to speak with the judge. And let them get schooled by the judge. Chances are the bad sport's not going to go with you. Because there's a high chance that they're going to get educated. Which could end up creating some bad blood with said judge. which may hinder them in the future. So when the poor sport refuses, I tend to say something like, no, you're making a big stink about it. I mean, I'm willing to go with you. Here, do you want me to take your hand? Another thing you need to do if this happens to you, you need to keep coming back if you enjoy the sport. Don't get caught up in the poor sport's emotions, because they're doing this because of their own problems. Don't let their problems become your problems. Don't let them get into your head. And another thing is to remember this. People who know what they're doing don't need to tell you they know what they're doing. They'll prove it to you through their own training and riding. But somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about tend to talk an awful lot, trying to convince you, as well as themselves, that they have the knowledge, all the while trying to bring those succeeding down. How many poor sports have you come in contact with? I'm sure there's quite a few. Let us know how many down below. And don't forget your favorite musical artist. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. As I've said before now, say it again, it's a little thing, but it really does go a long way. And if you haven't already, why not hit the subscribe button and join the Little Cruiser Guild yourself? We have new videos up every week for your entertainment, but also to make the source world make a bit more sense. And that's pretty much everything I've got for you guys today, alright? Thank you so much for watching. I am Nolan M Cruz. I'll talk to you later. Ciao!